The point of this video is to show you all that you don't have to be precious in the beginning phase of your pieces. Now I say this because a lot of times artists fret too much in the beginning. So the whole purpose of this is to illustrate in my own way, you'll have your own way, to get things rolling in the beginning and to give it some thought about each move, but don't overthink it. That's just a killer in terms of having fun. So the other day I created about 6 pieces in 2 hours. Each piece took me maybe 15 to 20 minutes just to make an opening statement. Here's the important thing to remember. If you work in this way, with each move giving it some thought but don't overthink it, you're going to be more intuitive. You're going to have more fun, knowing that the opening statement is just that. You're going to have the middle phase to get through of the piece, not to mention the end phase, and all these other moves are going to happen. So what I ended up with was there are 5 pieces up there on the wall. That was when I came back in and reworked the opening statement. Now, the piece can become quite complex, or it could be simple. The point here is that in that opening statement, when I came back into it, some of it remained and much of it went away. It's just an opening statement. That's the whole key here. So I've got my mise en place. Maria's helping me with the French in cooking. That means everything in its place. I've got some colors laid down, ready to go. Paper cut, ready to go. Tools, ready to go. Some matte medium ready to go. And then I've got things to play with here, all my elements here. Shapes, colors, texture, etc. And then it's just a matter of, as I said, making several moves. It could be 3 moves, 5 moves, 7 moves, but what you don't want to do is to sit here and worry about each move. You want to get things down fairly quickly. My advice is larger events first. Don't get caught up in any details and just let things happen, knowing it's going to change. All right? So with that, we're going to get rolling here. I have created 5 pieces, all small, and I consider each of these an opening statement. Once they're dry, I'll come back in and rework each and every one of these. You can see, for instance, on this piece that I not only accepted my so-called mistakes when things began to tear, but I actually invited the mistake and went with the unknown. Why am I saying that? I actually think it's useful in our practice, particularly for the way I like to think and work, in the opening statement to not be overly concerned with so-called accidents. Look for the happy accidents. Make it work. If there's a tear it, find out what you have. There's no bad moves here. Now, I was, to be honest, trying to make a balanced statement in terms of colors and shapes and so on, so I will admit to that. I didn't just go crazy and not think about any of my moves and the harmony of the shapes and colors, but I didn't give it that much thought. And that's the whole point of this particular nuts and bolts. Make your opening statements realizing that accidents can happen, realizing that this is going to go through more changes, not being, and here I think is an important point, to be able to let go. Being able to let go is going to be critical, because once I go back into this piece, for instance, I have to make changes and I have to let go of certain passages or moments that I think are critical. Otherwise, I'm going to get stuck. And this whole exercise was to help you get unstuck, particularly in the beginning of your piece. Let's recap this video. This video was about making an opening statement, in this case on a small scale, not spending too much time on each piece, creating 5 or 6 pieces within 2, at the most 3 hours. I don't think you need to spend more than 20 minutes, give or take, on a given opening statement. That's number 1. Have fun with this. Be more in the intuition and less up here, which means you're going to give each move some thought, but don't overthink it. Have everything in place so you can just kind of have a freewheeling time. And what this does is it breaks you free from having to overthink everything from the beginning. It takes out the fear factor big time. Now, when we push the work, we also want to be able to just make a few moves with each one, not trying to break each one to a finish. That way they kind of speak to each other as a grouping, as a series, and you can learn from one piece to the other even though they're going to be different. That will be the thread that connects them as a series. I hope this has been useful for you. Have fun, work hard, and think about no fear. Dare to fail. It's going to be okay.